everybody, it's meteorologist Andrea Myers bringing you guys your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and American Contractor, and now Atlas as well. Big thanks to them for all that they do and for making these videos possible. So for today, we're going to go over, honestly, a tricky risk. Wish I could be more specific. But it's complicated, guys, and we're going to go over the why and the where and when in a second here. And then for tomorrow, we've got more hail chances for the northern plains as well as the East Coast. There's a little more confidence in this one, so stay tuned for that. Again, if you're in the northern plains, or the central plains actually, as well as the East Coast. And then if you guys are anywhere in the south, pretty much from Oklahoma to Texas, anywhere in the southern states, it's been crazy hot for the last few days, and that's been limiting our severe chances. So we're going to talk about the overall pattern as well as when this heat dome is going to finally get kicked out of the way. But first, before all of our weather, going into our upcoming events, the first of those is the TAMCO 50th anniversary event. This one's going to be in Denver. So if you guys are in Colorado already, want to make a trip out to Denver, or if you've never been and you just want to get out there and see Colorado, head out there on June 23rd to come say hello to us there. The address is listed right below the event details banner. So then for after that, we're going to be at a lunch and learn event. So this one is at 1901 South Main Street in Grapevine, Texas, also on June 23rd. So, you know, if you're not able to make it out to Colorado, but you still want to come see some folks from Hail Trace and, you know, attend this lunch and learn, come out and see us there. Then into yesterday. So we did have a pretty busy day if you guys are in the north central plains. And you know, we had wind reports all the way from the west coast to the east coast. Obviously those are from different storms, but you know, we got busy day for wind into yesterday. Most noteworthy weather probably happened around the Rapid City, Spearfish, South Dakota area, where we had a swath of hail move from Wyoming into South Dakota. With that, we got up to, you know, we got some purple swaths up to baseball-sized hail with that, and then moving just north of Rapid City. So I mean, if you guys are in Rapid City and you guys are used to big hail, but you know, just missed you this time, got plenty of wind and a couple of tornado reports to go along with that for yesterday. Then into today, again, complicated risks setting up, but we do have some hail and wind chances for the northern plains as well as the Ohio Valley. Now for the Ohio Valley, that's going to be probably where the most noteworthy weather tonight will happen. What kind of weather it's going to be is what the question is, okay? So we got this system that's moving through Minnesota. It, you know, produced a couple of severe hailstorms through Iowa as well as Minnesota this morning. That's continuing to shift off to the east into Wisconsin. As it moves into Michigan, it's expected to intensify. Some models are showing isolated storm development. Some models are showing it forming into a band very quickly, and that's going to play a lot into what kind of weather we'll see tonight, what the system does as it shifts into Michigan. But for the area through the Ohio Valley right now, it's clear, it's humid, and it's got plenty of instability awaiting the system as it drives through into today. So we're probably going to see some pretty intense weather. And again, that storm mode is going to be very important for today. So there's your heat dome. I mean, 91 degrees in Atlanta, 96 in Houston, 92 in Dallas. Tons of us are seeing the 90s and probably going to see triple digits into later today. Super hot, super muggy across most of the U.S. And then we've got that cold front sweeping through the north, so much more pleasant conditions, but it's going to be once you get north of pretty much Iowa. So the very far northern states are pretty much the only ones that are getting relief from this crazy heat and humidity into today. Those deep greens, I mean, that's where it just feels like humid and sticky. Your hair's getting frizzy, and it just feels like, you know, you're wearing the sky because it's just so humid through there. So 75-degree dew points in St. Louis, 72 in New Orleans and Atlanta. And again, just the deeper those greens are with those hot temperatures is just the more uncomfortable it's going to feel outside. And unfortunately, it's going to stay that way for the next couple of days for us through the south here. But those dew points will contribute, again, to that severe weather risk that we're seeing through the Ohio Valley as well as the northern plains later. Now, for our CAPE, convective available potential energy, for the instability that we're seeing for these storms later tonight, Again, that heat, that humidity is giving us plenty of it. I mean, we're pretty much tipping the edge of the scale here for a lot of our instability values, anywhere from South Dakota into Ohio by 4 p.m. today. That's going to be when storms initiate through the Central Plains and, you know, start making their way into this unstable environment. And then we're going to have that second round of storms that develops through Wisconsin and starts making its way into Michigan and down into, again, a very unstable environment later tonight. So 8 p.m. is when all that is expected to play out, and we're still seeing, again, a ton of instability with that super summertime feeling outside, you know, as the storm system sweeps through. So there it is by 8. And then finally, once storms kind of overtake that, we'll see that Cape value start to diminish through the area, but again, not before a pretty loud night for a lot of you guys in the Ohio Valley. So for today, for the northern plains, you know, we're going to see a pretty quiet early afternoon, but then by 4 p.m. Central Time, that's when we get these storms starting to develop just to the west of North Dakota here. And then as those continue to track eastward, we'll see them intensify a little bit. And then we get a second round forming just north of Rapid City once again. Any of those could be isolated hailers through that high Cape. As they continue to track up to the northeast, we'll see them start to fizzle out into North Dakota, but then, you know, we get a second round of storms forming just to the east of Bismarck. Again, more hailers for that into the late night hours. This is by midnight now. And then that really gets going as it tracks up to the northeast, and we see more storms following it through the Bismarck area overnight. So just a pretty long night of potential hail, as well as some gusty winds through the Dakotas into the next coming hours. Then for the Ohio Valley, for our tricky risk, this is one run of one model. They've all kind of been all over the place, and that's what's given us some questions about this risk, quite frankly. But this model run is showing this storm system moving into Michigan. We get, you know, a couple of leading cells through the Grand Rapids area. Same story is going to be for Cleveland in a couple hours here, and we'll show that. But a couple of those could be some large hailers. And then as it continues to shift eastward, we get that cell moving into Canada, and then we get this whole cluster of storms again moving just north of Grand Rapids. Those are going to continue to cluster together and form a pretty nasty line as they get ready to hit the Detroit area by 2 a.m. Again, we've got some leading cells, and that could produce some large hail ahead of that line, but as it continues to track southward, if this plays out, Cleveland, Ohio, it looks like a pretty nasty line of storms is going to hit you guys by around 4 a.m. We don't like to see these overnight high wind events because, you know, usually people are asleep. You know, you don't like to see that. But unfortunately, that's the way things are going to play out. So if you guys are in the Cleveland or Detroit area, just stay very tuned to your weather into the overnight hours with the system as it continues to sweep southeastward into the Pittsburgh area by around 6 a.m. And then it's going to be absolutely ripping. It moves from 5:30 to just northeast of Pittsburgh, and then by 7, making its way into the Maryland area, again, packing a punch with those winds as it continues to shift southeastward through the evening and overnight hours. So if that plays out, we're going to have a lower end chance for that large hail. But if we get those isolated storms that some models have been showing, then we'll have a better chance for large hail through the area. So could get up to 2.5 inches through there, depending on which model wins out. And then, you know, 2 and 2.5 inches through the northern plains with those singular cells that we saw on our model runs. So for Rapid City, moderate chance for anywhere around you guys to see some severe hail into tonight with those singular cells. And then for anywhere into the Fargo and Minneapolis area, lower end chance for you. But then once we get down into the Ohio Valley, again, that's when things start to really pick up. Low-end chance for hail pretty much across the board from Illinois, Indiana, into Virginia. That's really when things start to look like they are more likely to band up. But moderate chance for you guys in Chicago, Detroit, and Cleveland to see some hail if those storms can stay singular. Then it's kind of a similar explanation out in the east for wind. Could see some pretty high winds through Ohio tonight, but we're going to leave you guys in a moderate chance for that. So for up in the northern plains, Rapid City, you guys are going to be in a moderate chance to see some storms in and around your area. Same with Fargo, moderate chance to see some gusty winds. Minneapolis, low-end chance for you guys. It looks like things are starting to shift off to the east already. Then down into the Ohio Valley. More moderate chances for you guys, dependent on storm mode, anywhere from Chicago out into Charleston, and then low-end chance on the southern end of that risk area to see some gusty winds as well. So again, if you guys are in the Ohio Valley, it's a tricky risk. Tornadoes also possible for you guys. you know, it's going to depend a lot on that storm mode for you guys. Wish I had, you know, more certain information, but that's what we have for today. All I can tell you guys is just stay very tuned to your weather as we go into the next, you know, coming evening and overnight as we watch that system track through, and, you know, we'll see what kind of weather it brings you. Then into tomorrow, looking at that wind event tracking its way through the DC area by around 8:30. That's going to continue into Norfolk by around 10:30, starting to weaken a little bit and break apart as it moves off the coast. And then we have some isolated storms starting up through Georgia and South Carolina by around 2 p.m. Any of those could produce some isolated hail as well. Those are going to continue throughout the afternoon and evening, pretty much in the same areas. Atlanta, you guys could get a storm by around 9:30 p.m. And again, the instability is enough there for you guys to, you know, get some large hail as well. So Atlanta, risk for you guys tomorrow. And then, you know, again, things are going to start to taper off overnight as we lose that daytime heating and instability. Then on up into the northern plains, that's when we have 2 rounds of severe weather that are expected. So first one's going to be through the northern part of North Dakota here. By Grand Forks, we're going to have these storms lifting off into Canada in the morning hours, and as those cross 29, they'll start to fizzle out a little bit, but we could get some large hail with that as well. Then down into the southern plains, that's when things are going to roll through the central part of Nebraska. I know, come on Denver. Things are shifting over there, but that's the best I can tell you. But things are going to continue to shift through Nebraska by 11 p.m. Any of those could produce some isolated hail as well. Could be large hail, as we do have, again, a lot of heat and a lot of humidity through the area. If you're in Nebraska, I'm sure you know that. And then those are going to track into the Omaha area yet again by around 1 a.m. So Omaha, another chance of hail for you guys. Tracking finally through just north of Des Moines by around 4 in the morning, and then off into the upper Midwest by Wednesday morning. So that's what we have for our future radar. What's that look like on our hail forecast? Well, here you go. Quarters to $half possible anywhere through the region that we were just talking about through the northern plains, as well as along much of the east coast here. And then where we have our best instability, as well as those singular storms, that's where we could see some larger hail possible. So if you guys are in Fargo, moderate chance for you guys to see some severe hail, as well as Omaha with that line that's going to develop over you guys. Des Moines and Green Bay, a little far east for y'all, so going to put you guys in a low-end chance. Then off into the Carolinas, anywhere from Pittsburgh all the way down into Atlanta, could see some severe hail in the quarter to $half size range for tomorrow. Could even see a little bit of larger hail through the Georgia area, but we're going to have to wait on that. And then, you know, as things develop throughout the day, it's going to be pretty scattered through the area. That's why everybody's in a low chance, but again, could get some hail through there. Then finally, when's the heat going to subside? Because it has been awful. So we've got, I mean, if you guys haven't heard it yet, the heat dome developing through the southeast. And that's been there for like the weekend. It's been there for a while here. So if you guys have felt that crazy heat and those muggy temperatures, this is what's causing it. We got this ridging pattern that's forming over much of the southeast, and it's a pretty strong ridge. It's not really letting any of these troughs move through and push it out of the way and let that cooling rain happen through the area. So right now, there's that heat dome. Then by noon tomorrow, we've got this trough trying to make a run at it, but this one's going to lift up to the north as well. So Tuesday, we've got our severe chances through the northern and central plains, as well as the east coast. Then it's going to continue to try to move into the area, but this ridge is just really holding out. It's a pretty strong ridge, forcing all of these lows to go up and over. So there we are by Wednesday, getting some risks up through the upper Midwest as well. And then finally Thursday, don't have better news for you guys. It's just continuing to push this low up to the north, and then we're waiting on this second low pressure system to sweep through, see if that can kick this heat dome out of the way. But, you know, we got that summertime pattern setting up, and because of that, you know, that's why it's been so hot, so humid through the south, and our storm chances have all been limited to the east. It's because of this ridge. So if you guys want cooler temperatures, and if you want severe weather chances, root for this ridge to weaken and this trough by Friday to swing in and move it out of the way, and we could see some storms later on into the weekend, but we've got a really hot week setting up for us in the south. So if you guys are in the northern states, stay tuned to your weather, especially the Ohio Valley today. today. You guys can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video. And then if you guys want to follow us on TikTok, we're on TikTok as well. We just did a live forecast discussion this morning. If you guys have our app, you would have gotten the alert for that. And you know, we give different takes on the weather. So John was talking about what he thinks will happen in the Ohio Valley today. So, you know, that's useful if you want a second take. Then if you want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can also email us at info@hailtrace.com or check out our website, hailtrace.com, for more details on who we are and what we do. And we'll keep you updated as always. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.